And about pitfalls that
Oh
people should
wow.
try to avoid when they
No,
start.
no, you can't avoid pitfalls. That's insane. I mean, you have all these gurus and these coaches and also, but also, big successful businessmen, and they would write books about 10 tips not to have pitfalls or thresholds or whatever. It's not true. You will have pitfalls, or you will go broke. I mean, this stuff happens. I mean, if you want to do this, if you want to, just fucking do it, like David says, you will fail. Basically, it's you have to really take this into consideration. If you're not ready to fail, then you should not start doing it. It's like if you want to learn how to ride a bike,
Hmm.
okay, and but you're not willing to fall, then yeah, don't try it because you will fall. I mean, with Geek Angels, we last year we built the whole platform, right? We started testing it in a private beta, and I didn't feel good with it. It was just like it doesn't look good. It's not really. It worked, but it's not perfect, and I hate it. So we decided, okay, we'll start over again, and we'll use some modules and some things we wrote, like developers did, but we're gonna start over and change the concept, change the logo, change everything. And so you can, if you look at it negatively, you could say, wow, you lost a year, and I don't know how much money we lost.
Hmm.
But I don't see it as a failure. I mean, I see it more as an exercise. But yeah, you should be. The hardest part is if you're passionate like I am about geeking, it's not so hard. It doesn't feel like a failure. You just feel like, oh, yeah, I need to run a little bit harder now, or. But it's more difficult for the people around you because they see like, I thought you were ready with the project. I thought you were going to launch it, and then you saw like, nah, we decided to start over again because
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
wasn't good enough. So all the other people will see it as a failure, or they'll get scared and they'll say like, you don't know what you're doing, and etc. So yeah, that's something you need to. I mean, if you start a project or if you start just and then what I do often, and I think this is a really great tip, not only business wise, but I think in life. Just imagine the worst that can happen. But really, I mean, and there, you really need to do this. Don't be afraid to imagine the worst thing that's going to happen to you, because it's probably not going to happen anyway. But if it does happen, then you're prepared, right?
Right.
So that's something I do all the time. I mean, if people, I mean, I don't feel afraid of. I mean, I'm not easily frightened, but if my mom, for instance, would say like, "Do you know what you're doing? You're starting this, big company, or it has a big potential, and are you sure about it?" Other people are kind of insecure about it, and I find that the hardest part of starting a company is all the people that are having fears and stuff, but I don't. So after a while, you feel like you're like nuts, or you're missing a piece. I don't know. So yeah, but imagine if you're afraid of something, or you're getting nervous about a company, just imagine the worst thing that could happen to you, and most of the time it's not that bad. I mean, and it gives you more, inspiration to do differently.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically.
So in a certain way, being ready to fail. That's one point.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it's big. It's in the U.S. If you go to a bank in the U.S., right, to start a company like Geek Angels, the first thing they will ask is, okay, how many companies did you fail?
hmm.
How many times did you fail a company? And it's crazy because if you would say like, oh, 4 times, and then they'll ask like, okay, but did you know why it didn't work? And I say like, yeah, I know exactly why it didn't work. Then they'll give you, they will be more willing to give you a loan, or to invest in your company. But in Belgium, or in Germany, it's awful in Germany. But in Europe, if you have had a failing business, then people, you know, they say like, you cannot, I think legally you cannot start a company again. I think it's even a legal thing, or not in the first 5 years, or I don't know how it is. Luckily I never failed a company, but it's crazy because they should, you know, you should hire people that failed. It's a crazy thing in society. I want to read books because, you know, we always see these entrepreneurs on TV or in, you know, or these really successful people, and they are like the role models. But the thing is that it's by accident, okay? Because statistically speaking, you have maybe 1,000 companies that start in January 1st, 2010, and probably one or two will, you know, will be successful, really successful. So, you know, the stories of the 900 people are way more interesting than the stories of the two people who will say like, yeah, this is what I did, and they will claim that they knew what they were doing and that this is the reason why they were successful. But I mean, basically, it's not true. I mean, they were just lucky most of the time, because you had 100 people who did exactly the same thing or worked even harder, but didn't meet the right guy at a party, you know, or didn't have the right contact, or didn't have the right whatever. So I think it has a lot to do with just luck, plain luck. But of course, you need to be, you know, you need to be open to you know, talking to everybody, willing to take big chances, willing to fail, you know. But then it's also luck, really. Yeah. I mean, Geek Angels, it's nothing yet, and you know, you're talking to me, and I get calls, but I mean, journalists call me and stuff. So, but there are probably, you know, more people like me in the world. I'm totally sure that now, right now, in the whole world, there's probably, I don't know, 1,000 people doing Geek Angels. So I think it's important to be modest and to say like, maybe if we're lucky and we work really hard and if we're lucky we find the right way to launch this, yeah, maybe it's gonna be successful. But I mean, it's basically, it's every day, it's hard, it's just working hard, you know, that's it, and you can only do your best. But voilà.